What's going on, man? Come on, man. I ain't got time for all this
bullshit.
Jay's legal team destroyed after Ramir Carter dropped shocking, hitting, evident foul. Oh, boy. Look at them noses, though, y'all. Look at them noses. God damn. If he wasn't scrunched up so much. God damn. But Diddy, Diddy. Jay-Z. Jay-Z is getting, he's showing a little bit of age now. He's getting a little older, bruh. You know, he's showing a little age. I'm going to give him a thumbs up, man. Hey, y'all hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell, man. Rest in peace to, what's his name? Shoot. Mike, man. God dang it. Charlie Clark. Charlie. I got a cousin named Charlie. Why I can't remember that name? Charlie. His name is Charlie, Mike. And I was really getting into him, man. Oh, snap. Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute, did I? Oh, my God. Okay. My bad, job. I'm rusty. I'm going to get back into this thing, man. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Let's check this bad boy.
It always starts with a whisper, doesn't it? One of those stories you hear late at night, the kind that makes you raise an eyebrow but scroll past because it sounds too wild to be real. Jay-Z, billionaire mogul, cultural icon, hip-hop royalty, suddenly caught in a firestorm not over business deals or rival beefs, but over something far more personal. A photo album. Not just any album. We're talking about a collection of images, letters, notes, scraps of a hidden life that Ramir Carter claims proves he's Jay-Z's biological.
Now look at that nose. Come on, man.
Talking about a collection of images, letters, notes, scraps of a hidden life that Ramir Carter claims proves he's Jay-Z's biological son. Now let that sink in. The same Jay-Z who's built a mythos around his come up, from Marcy Projects to Music Dynasty. The same Jay-Z whose every move is calculated like a chess master protecting his queen, Beyonce. And now, after decades of silence, this entire legacy could be facing its most dangerous checkmate yet. Why? Because someone finally flipped the family scrapbook. Ramir isn't playing the fame game. No wild interviews or viral stunts, just receipts. Lots of them. He's dropped what he calls his family albums online, and they're not some blurry Polaroids of a celebrity lookalike. We're talking side-by-side comparisons, letters from his late mother, Wanda, that mention a young Sean Carter, date-stamped memories from the 90s, even claims of sealed court documents never made public. Each piece chips away at the silence that surrounded this story for over a decade. The photos alone have people talking. Ramir as a kid at a cookout, and the resemblance to a young Hove is uncanny. Same jawline, same eyes, same you-know-who-I-am energy, but it's more than just DNA-level deja vu. It's about the notes, the addresses, the matching timelines that refuse to quietly disappear. For years, Jay-Z's team has dodged the issue like it's paparazzi on a red carpet. Delay the hearing, seal the documents, question the motives, but this time it's different. Because Ramir didn't just show up with a lawyer, he showed up with a story that's harder to erase than a legal filing. He says his mother met Jay at a show when he was still on the rise. They talked, exchanged words, and that was that. Until it wasn't. Wanda, according to her letters, tried to reach Jay after the pregnancy, tried to get clarity, but instead of answers, she got silence. That silence has echoed into Ramir's life for over 2 decades, and now he's done whispering. What makes this situation explosive isn't just the possibility of Jay-Z being someone's father, it's the idea that there might be a pattern. Enter Letitia Mayer, another woman who's been quietly waving the same flag from Maryland. Her claim that she too is Jay-Z's child, that he knows, that he pays for her home, that he only has one rule: no photos of him allowed. And again, we see the same script: quiet support in exchange for eternal silence. Now, it's not just a paternity story, it's a potential cover-up. 2 alleged children, 2 mothers who spoke up, 2 lives lived in the shadow of a man who spent his career rewriting his own origin story. And yet the only thing anyone's asking for is a DNA test. One swab, one answer, one moment of truth, and still nothing. Because in the world of billionaires, the truth doesn't always come for free. Sometimes it's buried beneath NDAs, hush money, and legal technicalities designed to outlast your patience and your wallet. But Rymir, he's still here, still talking, and the internet for once is listening. There's something about silence that starts to feel suspicious after a while. Jay-Z hasn't issued a statement, hasn't acknowledged Rymir, and hasn't taken the test. And every time a judge grants another delay or seals another file, people start to wonder, what is he trying so hard to hide? The legal machine around him moves like clockwork. Statements get sterilized, allegations get reframed. Anyone speaking too loud suddenly finds themselves painted as unstable, untrustworthy, or just chasing clout. But Rymir hasn't changed his story once. And more importantly, he's not asking for money. He's asking for recognition. And that's what makes this hit different. See, if this was just one man's word against a billionaire's empire, maybe it would fade away like the others. But the so-called family albums Rymir leaked hit a nerve. They're raw, handwritten, time-stamped memories that show a young boy growing up with questions no one wanted to answer. Letters from his mom, photos that scream resemblance, alleged documents that never made it into the courtroom. It's not some tabloid stunt, it's a timeline. And it doesn't fit into the version of Jay-Z the world has been sold. That's the part that stings the most for fans. Jay-Z built his career on authenticity. Can't Knock the Hustle wasn't just a song, it was a philosophy. From Marcy to Madison Square Garden, he told us he kept it real. But how real can it be if this entire chapter of his life has been carefully deleted? And what if Beyonce has been part of keeping it that way? There's growing chatter that Queen Bey hasn't just been a bystander in this story. Industry insiders say she's played a quiet but powerful role in locking down any leaks. NDAs sent out like party invites, phone calls made behind the scenes, opportunities quietly vanishing for anyone too curious about the Carter family tree. The narrative is tight. The brand is airtight and nothing gets in unless she says so. That kind of influence doesn't just happen. It's designed. Multiple sources claim they've seen people get blackballed just for entertaining Rymir's story. And when Letitia Murr came forward claiming to be Jay-Z's daughter, the playbook kicked in again. House paid for, strict rules in place, no family photos allowed. It's not silence, it's strategic erasure. Out of sight, out of brand. And still, there's no public response, no denial, no confirmation, just more questions and more people daring to ask them, because if this was all fake, if there was nothing to it, wouldn't it be easier to just take the test and end it? Why keep dragging it through the courts? Why keep sealing records? Why keep the public guessing? The truth is, this doesn't feel like damage control anymore. It feels like containment, like a machine trying to keep its moving parts from falling apart in real time. Because once one piece cracks, one confirmation, one DNA test, everything else unravels. The carefully managed image, the flawless marriage, the power couple branding that has defined a generation. And maybe that's the real reason the silence is so loud. Because this isn't just about paternity. It's about power, about who gets to write the story and who gets left out of it. The more people dig, the more the Carter empire starts to look less like a dynasty and more like a fortress. Sealed doors, shadow payments, whispered threats, all wrapped in the glow of stardom. And with every new leak, that glow gets dimmer. There's a moment in every story where the curtain starts to slip, where the illusion of control begins to crumble. And right now, the Carter machine looks like it's being held together with legal duct tape and silence. You can only ignore the storm outside for so long before the windows start to rattle. Rymir Carter isn't just knocking anymore. He's kicking the door in with photographs, court documents, and a voice that refuses to be drowned out by billion-dollar branding. And here's where it gets deeper, because behind every sealed file and ignored plea is a kid who grew up watching his reflection in someone else's fame. Imagine spending your whole life seeing your face echoed in the most recognizable man in hip-hop and being told year after year that it means nothing, that the courts don't care, that the money can't be touched, that your truth doesn't matter. Not because you're wrong, but because you're inconvenient. That's what makes this more than a paternity claim. It's an indictment of the way fame warps reality. Jay-Z isn't just an artist. He's a global brand, a boardroom heavyweight, a cultural monument, and the...
Damn, she said you are an inconvenience. God dang,
nothing,
yo.
That the courts don't care, that the money can't be touched, that your truth doesn't matter. Not because you're wrong, but because you're inconvenient. That's what makes this more than a paternity claim. It's an indictment of the way fame warps reality. Jay-Z isn't just an artist. He's a global brand, a boardroom heavyweight, a cultural monument. And the higher you climb, the more people are willing to bury your mess for you, so long as you keep the machine running. But what happens when the mess can't be buried anymore? People close to the situation are starting to talk. Quietly, carefully, former associates, distant relatives, legal aides who say they've seen things that don't add up, property records that trace back to Jay's company, mysterious payments, leases signed in silence, a trail of paper and whispers that always seems to stop just short of full exposure. And it always ends the same way, with another NDA, another disappearance, another unanswered question. And then there's Beyonce. Her silence, once seen as grace, now looks like a calculated shield. No statement, no support, no acknowledgement, just cold distance. No out. For someone whose entire image is built on empowerment, feminism, and authenticity, that silence hits different. The fans notice, the critics notice, and slowly, even her most loyal defenders are asking, does she know? Has she always known? Because at some point, silence isn't neutral anymore. It's a choice. And the longer this drags out, the more it feels like she's choosing to protect a narrative rather than confront a reality. Whether it's out of loyalty, business strategy, or fear of what the truth might mean, that choice is starting to crack the flawless surface she's maintained for years. Meanwhile, Rymir continues to press forward. His energy isn't spiteful, it's tired, exhausted from years of being ignored, dismissed, and legally buried. All he wants is acknowledgement, a simple answer. And maybe that's the part that scares the Carter camp the most. Because if he wins, even a little, then the illusion of invincibility breaks. If Jay-Z can be dragged into court by a son he's never acknowledged, then no amount of Grammys or billions can shield him from accountability. And that's the real threat. Not the DNA test, not the photos, not even the potential backlash. The real danger is the idea that the truth still matters, that no matter how rich, how famous, how untouchable someone seems, they can still be asked to answer for their past. So now we watch. As the lawsuits stack up, as the whispers grow louder, and as the silence from the Carter camp stretches thinner and thinner, the truth has never been closer. But the question remains, will they finally face it or keep trying to outrun it until the whole facade caves in?
Dang, y'all. She said Rymir is an inconvenience. God dang, I can't get over that. Man, dude, you gotta fight harder, bruh. You got to fight harder, man, because you can't go out as no inconvenience, man. You can't do that. All right. Let's see. Jay-Z forced to testify against Diddy. He said, what? He in testing now. Wait a minute. Jay-Z alleged son speaks live. Rymir said, oh, yeah. I'm trying to catch up on all this stuff, man, but this is an hour long. We're gonna have to do this one separate. All right. I gotta click on it though. I don't know how to. If I see two videos that I want to do, I don't know how to switch them back and forth, man. Okay. Never mind. We don't need to switch them back and forth. Check this out, man.
The courtroom was packed tighter than it had ever been. Every seat filled, every aisle blocked by cameras, notepads, whispers. Reporters leaned over railings. Fans gathered outside. Everyone waited for the same man, the one no one ever expected to see in a witness chair.
That's a story, man. That's just a story right there. We ain't down with these stories, bro. We ain't down with them stories, man. That's just a story. Did Diddy just buy his way out of jail?
Diddy is once again trying to get out of jail early. Now, he's locked up at Brooklyn MDC while he waits for his official sentencing in October. Soon after his conviction, his legal team tried to get him released on bail, by offering $1 million. But the judge quickly denied that request. Now
they ain't even got the numbers right, man. With no $1 million. And what's up with this dude, man? That the boy toy or what? He don't say much either. He's just a boy toy, man. Who said that? Somebody said he don't do nothing. At least he don't have an umbrella, though, right? At least he don't have an umbrella. Oh, my God.
He's raising the stakes in a big way, offering a massive $50 million bail package in an attempt to get out.
Now to the Sean Diddy Combs case. We may learn this week if he will be released on bond while he awaits sentencing. His lawyers filed a request asking the judge to release Combs on $50 million bond.
His argument is that he shouldn't be sitting behind bars since the charges he was found guilty of were not violent crimes. Diddy was convicted on 2 counts under the Mann Act, which makes it illegal to move people across state lines for unlawful purposes. Even though this law is labeled as involving violence under bail rules, the actual charges didn't involve direct physical harm. If Diddy makes it out, it could be a disaster for everyone that testified against him. And maybe that's why judges have been so hesitant to let him out.
The judge said next time. So he probably let Diddy get away with it to see how far he was going to do it. But then he said, nah, we're not having this. Because you got to realize the jury is not sequestered. They go home every day. And he's known for tampering with witnesses. If you go through the trial right today, you see how he was trying to tamper with some of the people by having security, D-Rock, and other people talk to them. They are saying that in their testimony.
Damn.
So the judge is very aware of the fact by hearing the testimony of some of the witnesses that he was trying to tamper with the investigation.
During the trial, prosecutors did present testimony about Diddy being aggressive toward Cassie and another woman, referred to as Jane. But the jury didn't convict him on those accusations. In fact, they found him not guilty of any direct violent assault charges. Some people have pointed to a 2016 hotel video as proof of wrongdoing. But because the case wasn't filed in California at the time, the statute of limitations expired, so it couldn't be used to convict him. Now Diddy's legal team is saying, you can't hold him based on things he wasn't convicted of. Still, prosecutors argue there's enough evidence of concerning behavior from testimony and past incidents to suggest he could be a danger if released. That's why the judge sees this differently. Jaguar Wright, though, has warned people to be cautious, saying that Diddy has likely employed a large number of damage control tactics since the start of the trial.
Diddy does have a plan to try to derail the information, derail the chain of evidence, derail history as it actually happened. And he is the kind of guy that has no problem with re-victimizing people all over again. Let's just keep it a buck.
Let's keep it a buck, baby.
These girls showed up at a very opportune time, did they not? Adria and Lamisha Fuller. Very opportune time. I do Pierce Morgan. The elites go insane. Ariel Mitchell Kidd drops Adria English as a client after she got drunk and talked with Tasha K, which was side in itself, if you ask me. I go on Pierce Morgan and say, I have 3 witnesses that are ready to come forward against the Carters. I didn't say against Diddy, I said against the Carters. And then there was the fake C&D, which was nothing more than a phone call from the lawyer Alex Spiro, who tanked the Rock Nation offering so Dame Dash couldn't make any real money off of it.
Jaguar then went on to explain just how big of a deal the Diddy conviction could be, especially with the likes of Al B. Sur also speaking out against him and causing him significant financial losses.
We get off Diddy.
I'll be sure is somebody that at the time when you were doing your run back in 2024, you were waiting to hear from him. You knew he was going to say something. He finally waited to do the Diddy documentary to finally speak. And I think TMZ put out, or I forgot who put it out, but there was a documentary kind of put out on the downfall of Diddy. And I'll Be Sure was part of that, speaking his story. For you to see him, you know, because again, he was very calculated on who he spoke with, whether it's real life or whoever it was. He was calculated as far as who he was going to speak with, but he ended up finally speaking and it going on the documentary. What credit do you give him for coming out and at least starting the conversation?
What do you mean? What credit?
Yes.
All credit.
There you go.
One of the best moments for me was seeing that documentary and watching how the footage that they took from this blue couch lined up perfectly with everything he had to say. Why did that not hit?
I don't know.
Hit different.
Right.
I'm just...
you know, and you said it on your platform too, like, why aren't, as we're closing in on this trial, why isn't there more?
How didn't that hit different?
Right.
Because as much as I love, I'll Be Sure, much as I love Mr. Albert Brown Sr., father, grandfather, amazing artist, incredible writer, wonderful entrepreneur, and radio personality. It's so funny when I talk about all of the things that my friend I'll Be Sure is. It's funny, everyone forgets that he did all of these things. Like, it's sad that not until that documentary, people weren't even acknowledging that he was an original investor, owner in Uptown Records that got demolished. Yeah. So bad boy. But for me to be able to say the same things that he was saying, and we haven't even been in each other's presence. How did that hit different?
There you go.
It's like they just don't want to accept the truth. Angie passes away.
Yeah, that right there.
Al said something. I said something. We were attacked immediately.
Get him, Jag. Get him.
Right.
Why? You want to know what else I find funny? We got attacked for speaking about the truth. But all of those other entertainers, ain't none of them say nothing. Especially the females.
Ain't none of them
who were
say
mentored
nothing.
and influenced by Angie Stone, no different than me. Not as much. I was truly influenced by Betty Wright, but then again, Angie Stone was influenced by her, so I guess it's all the same thing.
So I guess
The law
it's all
on
the
bail
same thing.
is strict. To be released, Diddy has to prove two things. First, that he isn't a flight risk, and second, that he isn't likely to break the law again. His lawyers argue he's not going anywhere. He'd give up his passport, wear an ankle monitor, and obviously wouldn't walk away from $50 million on the line. But the harder part is convincing the judge that he won't repeat the same behavior tied to his conviction. That is especially hard, especially because Diddy has a history of this behavior. In fact, here's a clip of Jaguar Wright exposing Diddy from 5 years ago.
Yeah, Diddy is a shepherd for the devil. Everybody told me he was a shepherd for the devil, and I seen it for myself. Y'all want to know how divisive Sean Combs, Honey Combs is? Go talk to Father MC and ask him how he feels about the love of his life being stopped to death, and all Puff wanted to do was keep it quiet so nobody knew that he was responsible because he didn't have the appropriate motherfucking goddamn permits to do half of the shows he was doing at Howard. Sean Combs, your agenda to destroy talent in the music industry, as successful as it's been, it needs to end. The way you embarrass those people who are making the band, yeah, it might have made good TV. It was good TV because you were sitting there humiliating people for having talent. Why you hate talent so much, Puff? Trying to contend with someone filled with power who know they doesn't need you is much harder than contending with someone that has no talent, that can't survive without you. The only thing that proves is that you're a narcissist.
Damn.
You have beautiful children. You should spend more time looking at them instead of looking up little young girls' skirts.
Damn.
That thing that girl said about you, the side bitch, while you was with Cassie, who was the side bitch, while you was with Kim, your relationships overlap so much, Puff. You like a monkey, for real. You like a monkey. And you know how monkeys travel through the jungle, right? They go from vine to vine. But when monkeys travel from vine to vine, they don't swing on the rope and jump off and catch the next rope. No, they don't let go of one branch until they got a firm grasp on the other.
Gone,
and that's your whole relationship story.
Damn, Jag. Jag is over there. You know, they don't grab onto this branch and she breaking it all the way down like she studied. She studied the Tarzan movie. Go on, Jag. Give it to him straight with no chasers, baby. Good God. I can't believe.
Rope and jump off and catch the next rope. No, they don't let go of one branch until they got a firm grasp on the other. And that's your whole relationship story. You're disrespectful to women. For real, you're probably the Jeffrey Epstein of hip hop. And Puff, if your ass is itching about it, you can say something to me too. Because I know what really happened with you, Shine, and Jennifer Lopez. I know what really happened, yo.
Everybody knows.
That boy that you tried to clone and turn into Biggie Smalls.
He did sound like Biggie. He sounded like when he was rapping, his voice and his delivery was like Biggie. But he had them rhymes like Biggie. Biggie would hit you with some poor. Oh, I can't remember none of his rhymes right now.
Shine, and Jennifer Lopez.
God,
I know
God.
what really happened, yo.
Yo.
That boy that you tried to clone and turn into Biggie Smalls. Shout out to the memory of Biggie, yo. If you don't want me talking, Puff, keep your distance.
Damn.
Because I'm not big and I'm not Tupac. My head is always on a swivel. And what's really sad is, of all of the things that I've been sharing with y'all over the past 6 weeks, I ain't told you.
Whoa.
The judge has also reminded everyone that even Diddy's own lawyers admitted in court that if the case had been purely about domestic violence, he would likely have been found guilty based on the 2016 video. That admission is now coming back to hurt his chances of getting bail. Plus, there will be plenty of celebs who will want to keep him in prison simply because he has so much blackmail material on them.
When they have a warrant, a search warrant for a residence is not for a body. If they had one for a body, they would have brought it in. Now, if they would have went there and they found guns, drugs, and Diddy was there, they would have brought him in. You know what I'm saying? They would have brought him in. Like they brought his sons in. And then they want to know, well, why are these unlicensed guns in the house? Who drugs do these belong to? All those things like that. But a lot of people probably believe that, you know, they just want to know, and the government want to know what things those people were doing on those tapes and who was doing shit on those tapes. Because I heard they found like 250 cameras or something like that.
That's what they say. They said they found a lot of cameras.
Right.
There's a lot of...
That's what kills me, man. You find 250 cameras. 250 cameras. You got 90 terabytes of data. And none of that came up in court. None of that came up in court. That's crazy, man. Wow.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Oh my God. Here we go, man. None of it came up in court, man.
Like 250 cameras or something like that?
That's what they say. They said they found a lot of cameras.
Right.
There's a lot of rumors about him recording some of these parties, and he's using a lot of this stuff for blackmail, like a lot of celebrities, even as far as politicians.
None of that came up in court.
You know, I think even Little Rod said that Diddy had every room taped and bugged.
Right. Well, in his affidavit or his deposition that he gave to the courts, he said every room was bugged, and that he did have tapes and information on a lot of different celebrities and people in the music business, people that were in politicians, and like I said, in other platforms, people that was in the ministry.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, if the feds got their hands on these tapes, you could very well see like a domino effect of shit coming down on everybody.
It depends on what's on the tapes. You know what I'm saying? If it has anything, see, what people don't understand is this, is that having sex is not a crime, but having sex with underage is.
Another big question is, does it even make sense for him to fight for bail right now? If his sentence ends up being 1 to 2 years, much of the time he's already served in jail will count toward that. That means he might only have a short time left anyway. Getting out now just to go back in a couple months may not benefit him much. There's also a bigger conversation here. A lot of people watching this case feel that if Diddy wasn't famous and wealthy, there's no way he'd even be offered the chance to fight for bail. Regular people in similar situations often don't get that option. And for those who came forward with accusations, many are hoping the court keeps their voices in mind instead of just focusing on how much money Diddy can put on the table. It's worth pointing out that even with years of investigation and a huge amount of effort by federal authorities, the case didn't fully go the way prosecutors wanted. They had worked for years to build a tracking case, but the jury wasn't convinced. Over the course of the trial, more than 30 witnesses took the stand for the prosecution, while the defense didn't call a single one. And even with all of that testimony, the jury still acquitted him on the most serious charges. Gene Deal, though, has a very interesting theory as to why the feds put up such a weak case. He thinks they weren't after Diddy, but actually after the tapes he had.
This case had nothing to do with really putting Puff in jail, because those people are educated enough to know they could have won that case by other charges and they didn't even go for it. They didn't even go for it. That gun charge was locked, sealed, and they didn't even go for it. Why? It was about them going in there, getting those tapes. I think the
that's a good one right there. I think they went in there to get those tapes. These people got money. When I say they got money, they got lands to rule. They got deals to make with the United States. They got people in high places say, look, Diddy got some blackmail tapes on me, just all allegedly and stuff. I need for his house to get raided and get my tapes out of there before y'all put him in jail. Yes, sir. No problem. Here's the order, guys. Brrr. We're going to find all this baby oil, but we got to get these tapes. It sure is funny, man, how the tapes, they on the news telling us they got 90 terabytes of tapes. What's on the tapes? Never came up in court. Not one. Surprise, this is on the tapes. None of that type of stuff came up in court, man.
Why? It was about them going in there, getting those tapes. I think the prosecutor name was Damian Williams. He was sent there and put that because somebody told him in high places. Puff might be the Black Jeff Epstein. He got all the tapes of some people that are friends of ours. They found out that he had those tapes of them.
What? Oh, my bad. That's how the music goes.
Y'all go get them. Why is the southern state of New York going all the way over in California and down in Miami when they have their own divisions? Why?
Something ain't
People
right.
ain't thinking about that.
Something ain't right. That's why.
They went down there because some people told them, yo, y'all go down there and y'all go get these tapes from this dude. Because we know he got them. And he got them stored in one of these houses. They go in there, they do a raid. Bruh. They brought out they said close to 900 some bottles of baby oil. I know this for a fact.
1,000 bottles
when you
of baby
do a
oil.
raid, you do what they call a field test on any substance you bring out that house.
Yep, that's facts.
You do a field test on any substance that you bring out that house. They not bringing 900 bottles of baby oil out that shit. If it was just baby oil.
Prosecutors are shutting down Diddy's latest attempt to walk away from his conviction. In a new filing that dropped late Wednesday.
My bad, y'all. Hey, what make it so bad is it's so many people allegedly that baby oil was mixed with something. It's because you squirt it on people and automatically it seeps through your skin and automatically you start tripping. Lil Rod said he woke up with some men in the bed with him. So many people have said this. It's like nobody telling the truth no more. All these people lying or they covering up some stuff. Who knows, man? Here we go.
If it was just baby oil.
I was gonna hit y'all with
Bullshit.
I was gonna hit y'all with one of those.
Are shutting down Diddy's latest attempt to walk away from his conviction. In a new filing that dropped late Wednesday night, almost 3 weeks after the verdict, they said his request for an acquittal or a brand new trial has no legal basis. Their position is simple. The convictions stand, and he should move ahead to sentencing on October 3rd.
Cassie and Daphne. Both was victims, but the jury and probably was looking for more women.
Good job.
That was victimized in the thing. And then if they would have brought in more women, and there was more women out there. I talked to a couple of women myself. And I was like, even the women who did the civil suits, the prosecution didn't want to bring them in because they were doing civil suits. And they knew that the defense would get on them and try to make it a shamble about, oh, it's about money. But still in all, when he go to jail, watch how many women and how many people come forward on their civil claims. You're gonna have a lot of men come forward too. Watch and see. Our people got a strange way and they pick and choose who they should be loyal to. And it's strange, bruh. How they celebrating this demon, bruh. They celebrating this demon. Do you understand that? The RICO law, you understand? The racketeering, criminal enterprise, and corruption, all this other bullshit like that. It was hard for the jury to take that in, because when they hear about RICO law, they hear about racketeering, they think about the mafia. They think about the mafia. So they couldn't come to grips with that. And that's okay. But I know this for a fact. He ain't getting no time served. He ain't getting no less than 5 years. He's gonna get the mandatory minimum, or he gonna get more. He's gonna get the mandatory minimum, or he's gonna get more. Point blank. So all you people that's celebrating and want to know how Gene Deal feel, I'm all right.
But prosecutors did score a major win with the Mann Act convictions, and they used other evidence to support their case. One of the most talked about moments in court came when the jury was shown a video from 2016. In that clip, Diddy could be seen as R&B singer Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura, in a hotel hallway in Los Angeles. Cassie also testified during the trial, telling the jury that Diddy lashed out when she decided she wanted to leave one of the so-called freak-offs. That moment gave prosecutors a way to argue that his behavior wasn't just about parties.
God dang, boy. Good gracious. This girl. God, wait a minute. That's almost a good.
Seen as R&B singer Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura, in a hotel hallway in Los Angeles. Cassie also testified during the trial, telling the jury that Diddy lashed.
Man, that girl is so fine, y'all. I'm sorry. Uncle Mike's sorry, y'all. Good God Almighty. Every now and then she could take Janet. Janet was my girl. Janet Jackson was my. I told all my girlfriends and everything back in the day. I said, baby, I would never cheat on you. But if Janet come in the house, I'm sorry. I can't control myself. Janet, I was on Janet like a. Woo-wee. She take Janet place all day long and twice on Sunday. She could take Janet place twice on Sunday, boy. Good God Almighty, man. Man, get out of here.
Out when she decided she wanted to leave one of the so-called freak-offs. That moment gave prosecutors a way to argue that his behavior wasn't just about parties. It also showed a pattern of control and aggression. Even though Diddy avoided convictions on the trafficking charges, the 2 Mann Act counts still carry weight. Prosecutors insist those charges are serious and deserve real punishment, even if they don't come with the same headline-grabbing label as trafficking. And now, with his sentencing date already set, the main question is how much time the judge will actually give him.
But if this the plan that God got him for him right now,
or more,
it's God's plan. And what y'all don't understand, y'all celebrate thinking that it can't happen in jail. They might put him in a couple of places before he make it over there to Madoc, R. Kelly, rest of the criminals that's have easygoing spots and stuff like that. But it still can happen there. Somebody get mad. Somebody got a relative or something like that that he did something to that we don't know about. And they run into him. And they hit him with his own words. Take that, take that. Then what y'all?
He said, then they hit him. They hit him with their own words. Take that, take that. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. I can't believe this, y'all.
Somebody get mad.
Somebody get mad.
Somebody got a relative or something like that
Somebody
that he did something to that we don't know about. And they run into him. And they hit him with his own words. Take that, take that.
Take that, take that.
Then what y'all gonna say?
Take that, take that. Oh my God.
I ain't worrying about it, Marty. This is funny to me, man. This is real funny that the prosecution spent all that money, all that time, and all that resources when they had legitimate charges that they could have put on him other than the RICO, other than the racketeering, that gun charge is mandatory. So now you got to realize this. A lot of people going to bring up cases to the federal government. This becomes case law now.
For now, Diddy remains behind bars, his defense team arguing he shouldn't serve a single day, while prosecutors are pressing for several years. The back-and-forth filings show just how much both sides are digging in, and the judge will have the final say when sentencing happens this fall. Will we see bigger names come to light? Gene Deal certainly thinks so.
So I want to go back to the comments you made earlier about these tapes, and I want you to give more clarity. So you believe they only got Puffy because they wanted these tapes. What do you think is on these tapes?
Bro, you got to realize you got people like Prince Harry. Prince Harry was at a Diddy party. You got some of the same Universal executives. Diddy made it cool for, I'm just gonna say it like this, man, whites to hang out with the hood dudes. Dude from the hood, he made it cool and safe for them to hang out with the white executives. They used them for that. They used them enough, whereas that now you got white executives doing Diddy-like parties. Remember the dude from, Frantic? The clothing line, the sports line? They was mad because they didn't get invites to his party because he was doing white parties, doing parties like Diddy. Now I ain't talking about the freak-off party part of it, but I'm just saying, he was doing those parties and everybody, there was rappers, or I think Stephen A. Smith said something about he was upset that he didn't get no invite. So it was those parties that everybody want to be at. So Diddy have on tape, he taped everything. He taped everything and taped everybody.
Wow.
You remember in his trial it came up.
Okay.
In his trial it came up. What came up in his trial? It came up that his assistant was right there. And Diddy told him, "You want to show your lawyer to me?" Gave him a condom and told him to sex the girl right there. He asked the girl, was she all right there? She said, yeah. That's crazy, bro. So now, you think certain politicians, you think certain actors, actress, they drinking, smoking, we know they love pink coke. You know they got weed all in the air. They dropping pills, they dropping some other kind of pill. Man,
X.
Do you think he ain't got nobody on tape, bruh?
What do you think of Gene's assessment so far? Do you agree with the idea that the feds could let Diddy walk to fry bigger fish? Let us know in the comments below.
Man. Diddy right-hand lady was never called to the daggone stand, man. What's up with that? This was a terrible, terrible case, man. Man, this was a terrible case. If I'd have known, oh my God, this case was horrible. I mean, horrible, man. There's all kinds of stuff. No kids, no tapes. Out of 5 charges, they only got them on 2. What about, I thought they were setting Cassie up to say she was part of the RICO because Cassie was paying for the S workers. So Diddy wasn't paying. So another part of the company was paying. Does that make sense? So another part of the company was paying for the daggone, that's RICO. That's all part of RICO. The whole company paying for stuff. That's the route I thought they was going. Then all of a sudden, all this, oh my God.
Bullshit.
Next thing you know, he off. They over there can't decide. We over there had us all the way down to the end. One of the jurors is not cooperating. We can't decide. I'm like, what the heck? Wait a minute. That means there's only one person, one or two people that's saying no RICO. Everybody else want to give them the RICO. That's what I was thinking. And come find out it was the opposite. One person want to give the RICO and everybody else saying no RICO. That's what happened. Oh my gracious. All you got to do is buy one of them off and then get 2 or 3 of them on your side. Tampering. He in jail using the phone the wrong way. All kinds of stuff. What else he do? He did all kinds of stuff wrong, man. And y'all think he gonna get out on time served? Come on, bruh. Hey, I'm gonna get on up out of here. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. We got one more trial that's coming up for this Diddy stuff. And then they gonna do the sentencing trial. So y'all look out for all that type of stuff, man. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. How many years? Shout out if you're an ender. Let me know if you're an ender. Love when I see ender. And by the way, Uncle Mike, I'm an ender. I love seeing that, man. Y'all my peoples, baby. Y'all my peoples. But let me know, is he going to do 6 or more? I mean, let's be realistic. Don't just say he should do the whole 20. Nah. But the judge got to show some type of leniency so they can say, but by the time we get to the SIP, because they're gonna appeal this all the way to the Supreme Court, my guy. Yeah, they gonna Supreme Court this one. I already know that. And so once it gets to the Supreme Court, the judge gave you a break here. He could have gave you this, but he gave you a break here. Then he let you do another trial. He did a good job. He did the best he could for y'all. Throw it out. Hey, y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.